We're now going to look at graphing a linear inequality in two variables. This involves aspects of drawing a straight line and making a decision about shading a region. So we're really going to need our helpful hint. First, graph the equation minus 3x minus 2y equals 10. Determine if the line should be solid or dashed. Then, pick a test point to see if it satisfies the inequality minus 3x minus 2y is greater than 10. If the test point satisfies the inequality, shade the side of the line on which the point lies. If the test point does not satisfy the inequality, shade the opposite side of the line. Now we're going to graph this inequality. First, we need the boundary line. The boundary line will be minus 3x minus 2y equals 10. Notice what we have replaced the greater than symbol by an equality symbol. Also, we will notice that this boundary line is going to be a dashed line. When we go to draw the boundary line, we won't actually include the line itself. Now we're going to try some values so that we can plot this boundary line. First, we're going to try x equals 0. If we take the equation minus 3x minus 2y equals 10 and we replace x by 0, then we have the equation 0 minus 2y equals 10. If minus 2y equals 10, y equals minus 5. Next, we're going to try a value y equals 0. So we're taking this equation, minus 3x minus 2y, and we're replacing y by 0. So we have minus 3x minus 0 equals 10, or minus 3x equals 10. When we solve for x, we're going to get a fraction, x equals negative 10/3. One more point we need. This time let's try x equals minus 2. Minus 3 times minus 2 minus 2 times y equals 10. Negative 3 times negative 2 is plus 6. 6 minus 2y equals 10. If we subtract 6 from each side, we'll get 2y, negative 2y equals 4, and dividing both sides by negative 2, y equals negative 2. So we have three ordered pairs. We have the value when x is 0, y is minus 5. We have the value when y equals 0, x is minus 10/3. And our final value is when x is negative 2, y turns out to be negative 2. Let's see where those three boundary points are. When x is 0, y is minus 5. Here's the ordered pair, 0 minus 5. Now this one's a fraction, so we'll save that one for last. We have the point negative 2, negative 2. That means if x is negative 2, y goes down to negative 2, and the points end up right here. This one we have to estimate just a little bit. Minus 10/3 is minus 3 1/3. So it's a third of the way between minus 3 and minus 4. So we'll say minus 10/3 is about there. The ordered pair is minus 10/3 for x, and y is 0. Here is our point. Now, when we go to draw the boundary line, it has to be a dashed line. So as I draw the line and I line up the 3 points, I don't make a solid line. I make a dashed line. Now, what we're going to do is make a test to see, do we shade everything above the line or do we shade everything below the line? A very easy point to test is the origin 0, 0. So I look at this original inequality, minus 3x minus 2y is greater than 10 if I let x equals 0 and if I let y equals 0. Do I get a true statement? 0 added to 0 is not true. 0 is not greater than 10. That's a false statement. Now here is an important thing. If your test fails, that means the point that you picked isn't shaded in. It's not included in the shaded area. So we don't want to include 0, 0. Instead, we want to include this region below the shaded line. So the graph of minus 3x minus 2y is greater than 10 is not the boundary line itself, but this region that's below the line. When you're graphing linear inequalities, you have to be sure, is the boundary a solid line or dashed line? Here we have a dashed line.